Good morning. This is another rendition of Left Jab, Right Hook. I'm George Belushi Jr. and I'm accompanied by
Lisa Otto.
You would be able to tell the left from the right normally because I would be over there and she would be over here, but I'm the left over here, just so you'll know that. And I'm still in celebration phase 101.
And I'm Jen Lepkowski.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jen.
I do show up, I promise.
We are the Geneva Show Report, and we're
That's
here
true.
at Neat, the wonderful coffee shop in Geneva National.
That's right.
So,
And
okay.
we're here because, well, we're here to inform you about what's going on as best we can from our very opinionated situations. And the president is now Joe Biden. He's inaugurated.
Yep.
There was no riot. There was none of those things that people predicted might happen after the 6th. And we couldn't be happier about that over here. The Senate is Democratic. The House is Democratic. The presidency is Democratic. And now, let's hope the Democrats act like real Democrats instead of idiots, okay?
Okay, and during all this celebrating you guys have going on over there on your left side, where's the money? Where's
the
our
beef?
stimulus money? Where's
Where's-
our money? Where's the beef?
Well, let's see. 24 hours? That's what we get, is 24 hours? I mean, that's
Well-
not much time.
Well, it's been plenty of time to lose 50,000 jobs already. It's been plenty of time to discuss
Wait a minute, lose 50,000 jobs, how?
how with shutting down the pipeline and the border wall.
So,
50,000 men and
you're
women
saying
are
that
out of work in the
he
very
signed-
first 24 hours.
He signed
Show us the money.
So he signed executive orders
Yes.
to end work on those two projects. And you're taking this into a job situation instead of the reasons why he signed it. Now, right, if he puts Buttigieg in there as his transportation secretary, they are going to do a complete redo of the US of A when it comes to infrastructure, trains, roads, planes, all of it. Those 50,000 are going back in the workforce, and that's where
When?
they're going.
When?
Tomorrow? Well, maybe in a week or two.
Because we need our stimulus, we need people working, families need incomes right now. So maybe that could have waited
You
till,
gave me some
Number
information
15.
before we came in here that
Yeah, I did.
there was some negative thing you read about the stimulus. What was that?
that it fell flat.
What does that
That
mean?
Biden's stimulus package, his $1.9 trillion package, fell fat. I wish it was fat in our hands, in our pockets,
I'm gonna look that
but
up.
it fell flat with the GOP. So let's find out what's going on with that. It just came in, so
It was breaking news.
Breaking news. Okay.
So we could have waited on cutting all those jobs that were cut yesterday. We could wait and open our borders after we start taking care of some of our people right here, right now that need it. And the stimulus, that should have been the first thing that was signed. That should have been the first thing that was voted on.
I mean, he said it was already.
It should have
Let
been
me give
first.
you the dope here. And
You have
the
dope?
usual
He's got
right
dope.
wing, let's work with a little bit of information and explode it into the whole.
Okay.
Yeah, it fell flat with 2 Senate Republicans.
Oh,
Okay. And that was Murkowski of Alaska and Mitt Romney of Utah. Both indicated it may be too soon to pass the stimulus.
oh,
That's it.
please.
That's falling
Okay.
flat.
All right.
Apologize to the listeners.
I apologize.
That's amazing because I don't find anybody from the right side generally apologizing for anything.
Oh, I'll apologize for things. I will.
Okay.
But
Take that
Still
out.
doesn't mean it's going
doesn't mean
forward.
it does,
She does mean it.
Yeah,
we do mean it.
Our camera person
Okay.
pipes in. Your credibility with the camera person
Okay.
is limited.
And that was also
She knows I'm here.
I was also researching some of the stuff that went on. Okay, so our 25,000 troops that were at the Cap, for the inauguration and protecting our people, and which we
And they are still there.
and they are still there. Okay, so I am friends with some military men or ex-military
But that's
men.
good credentials.
Did
I
you
have
look
one
at
there
any of
right
the
now.
Pictures of the military men that are standing guard with their guns.
No?
Do you see clips in their guns?
Magazines, you mean?
Yeah. Do you
Probably
see?
not.
You see? No, they're not. What happens if shit hits the fan? What
You
if?
know-
What if things get crazy?
The
How are
words,
they gonna
let
protect?
me say something. As a former company commander of Marines in combat, let me say a few words to you. Also attended civil disturbance training, went to sniper school. All of that, was a cop and then a CIA agent. The words I want to state to you are these: lock and load. Because in their little helmet radios that they all have now, you say lock and load, which they then reach in, take a magazine, put it in, pull the thing with the lever back, and load around. They are ready to go then. Why don't you have them lock and load in a civilian situation all the time? Because accidents happen. You do not want accidental discharges. If they're to fire or to be put in a position of fire, it has to be a situation that's determined to be that, not that they make that decision. We don't want any more Kent States.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll agree with. That makes sense to me, and that seems only right. But some of these military men that I am friends with are saying that they have been in foreign countries, they have been on patrol and on guard in Iran, Afghanistan. A lot of times the military, they're saying, now I don't know how true this is, they don't even get ammo or magazines or clips or anything. And it's just the federal cops or the people right in the very front that get it. The rest of them don't even get it. So if they say lock and load, they have nothing to lock and load.
If you're put into a position where you're not carrying weaponry, which also can happen, especially in civil disturbance, when you don't want people to die, you are also dealing with people who are wearing armor, who have non-deadly weapons like nightsticks, helmets, things like that, sprays, all of that. And if you want them to apply that, maintain control of it in a righteous situation, then you want to make sure that there are no fatalities. So again, those situations, that's why we have a structure in the military. There are captains over lieutenants and majors over captains and lieutenant colonels, colonels and generals. It all comes down because the higher you go, the more you're overseeing the general situation. And therefore you don't need a PFC to blow down 20 people and change the whole thing. Much less complex.
Okay, so I guess I'm getting a little carried away with this. This is kind of getting out of focus for me. But my whole point behind this was I'm hearing a lot of talk about the whole military and the protecting of the inauguration, that it was all for show. That it was all for show. So then I looked into it a little further.
Well, it was a lot for show.
It was for show.
They didn't want them to come.
They didn't really think they were going to come. It was for show.
No, they did it for show so they wouldn't come.
Okay.
Do you want to go face 25,000 guardsmen carrying your Trump flag and being a rioter? No, you do not today. And so they didn't come. And it worked.
I don't think they were going to come anyway. Did you see? Finally, okay, so you know our fancy actor guy who's with
With the
his
horns.
horns and all that. Watch how he walks in. He walks in, the cop is behind him, pretty much escorts him right into the building. There's no chaos going on, there's no threat. The cop isn't scared.
Which supports
There's nothing.
exactly what I'm talking
There's
about.
nothing going on, it's all for show.
The fix was in. That whole thing, oh yeah, I'm sure the guy who got hit with the fire extinguisher believes that. No, he doesn't believe anything. Why? Because he's dead. Okay, and how about the guy being crushed in the door? And also the threats that were made and recorded to fine Pelosi, to kill some of these representatives. They had a gibbet outside. They had Molotov cocktails outside. They had pipe bombs outside. Don't tell me that this was some sort of light, airy, bouncy wall sit.
Well, I'm not saying it was, I'm just saying. I think some of
The cops were told to stand down. It's not their fault. They didn't know. The command structure let them down because the command structure was reporting to Donald Trump. And he wanted Trump because he manages chaos. That's all. And he's gone. So I
So
want
he's
to talk
gone. So
about
let's go. Okay, let's
the
move
loveliness,
past all that.
yes, of how calm and neat things are going to be, because people like you and I, ordinarily we'd be, doing bad things. Instead, we're going to have a dialogue
We are.
and talk these things through, and also try to figure out the difference between actual news and fake news. It's really hard. You start getting people talking to you, and you're like your military friends, and you believe them. I mean, that doesn't mean their version of the truth is what actually is an occurrence. Trying to take this all in can be very difficult. You know, you have to go to a number of sites, talk to a number of people. But I think the results of the 6th of January turned out to be a very good thing because it revealed so much about the end of that right-wing culture that you've been there.
You didn't hear that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see because we're not hearing very much from Donald Trump and the supposed Trump faction of the Republican Party. And I think what's going to happen to your party, which may end up being a good thing, is a reformation of the party.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be a whole restructure. I think the Republican Party is going to be
But
redid.
I react to your "where's the beef" comment when you began.
We need it.
Yeah, I want to see that on the table now. The appointments, I care about all that other stuff, but I care about two things, Mr. President, my president. I want the stimulus and I want the vaccines. Okay, those are the two things on my table, and the rest of it is over here, a pile.
I just want the money.
Same.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to get the stimulus for you.
I know you are. And I'm trying to get it for you. I'm going to throw you some.
That's right.
See how fun this can be? Lefties aren't so bad.
Well, it would have been better if you hadn't quit smoking, and then, you know.
Oh, we went
We
there.
didn't go there. Nope, move on.
Testy. I mean, okay.
I'll kick him under the table.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Okay. Are we wrapping this up tonight?
Well, we are because you know, we're going through now a period where there's not going to be so much news.
Sure isn't.
And they had a regular press conference today in the press room. Yeah, I mean, what is exactly? You guys. You know, when government is being boring, it means you are not living in interesting times.
I know.
Do you want to live in interesting times? That's a Chinese curse.
It is. It
Okay?
is.
May
You're
you
right.
live in
You are
interesting
right.
times, right? And we've had
interesting
How
times.
did that work out for you? It didn't work out very well for me. Anyway, here we are, and yes, we will wrap this up until tomorrow. This is Hudson Jr. coming to you from the left jab and the
Right hook, Lisa Otto.
and
Jen Lepkowski.
And the
see you tomorrow.
Bye.